It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.
Yo, man. Oh, Miss Rusty. What's up, everybody? It is Friday, show number 2. And then that's it for a few days. So you guys can hopefully be almost caught up now with, if you listen to this one, have some till we come back on Monday. So thanks for being here. I'm your host, Rusty Diamond, on the Quantum Global Broadcasting Network, QGBN. I've been recording. I just recorded 2 30-second spots for. Oh, you're there. Okay, well, cool. That works. So yeah, welcome there to the show. I guess we're gonna go. So my special guest right here, right now, is MaZíX Mahalêl. How are you doing today?
I am great, Rusty. Thank you so much for inviting me and having me, and so excited to have this conversation.
Yeah, me too. I'm not sure how I got you on there. You just all of a sudden were on. I was like, okay, well, I guess we're just gonna go. It kind of worked out all right. So yeah. So we were just talking. So you're in Denver. So how long have you been in Denver for? Or
I lived in Colorado for 23 years, almost 23, and I've lived in Denver for about 10 years, over 10 years. 11 years. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so in Denver, with the, let's see, with the community that you're the I don't know what we call ourselves, the this community of all the
Conscious
everything.
community.
The conscious community. How is the conscious community in Denver?
I want to say right now it's big on I mean, there has been, I'm going to say, a little bit of a change. We've always, I'm going to say, Colorado in general, Denver, especially in Boulder, I think a little bit more in a different way, has been always seen like as a spiritual hub, right? A lot of people, yeah, a lot of spiritual people, even, JP Sears, JP, the guy, the red hair, right? He even has a video on Boulder making fun of them, of course. But like, because there's been this stigma of Boulder people. They all do the yoga thing, the meditation thing, and then very much into workshops. But it's a little bit on the snobby side. That's at least like, what he plays, and, like rumor has it, type thing, rumor has it, right? Yeah, and a little bit, and it's more like, I'm gonna say spirituality. I remember someone asking me to learn more about it, and it's more like what I've noticed is spirituality by the books, if that makes sense. Like it's like learning about, right?
Yeah.
And it's being a little bit less on the embodiment, on the let's get into the transformation. What it really, like, at least what I've learned, that spirituality is like more like who you are and the way of being, right? And so I've met quite a lot of people that, again, it has been more like learning about, reading about, and then they do a little bit of the work, but it's not like I see more like I connect with people in, I'm gonna say, in the online space, right? Now that has changed. I'm gonna say in the last few months. I want to say at least a year, but strongly since December, because of the psychedelic opening, right?
Oh yeah, there and then in Oregon. So
right, it has, like, now that it's legal, a lot of people are right now stepping into facilitating ceremonies, building their houses, their spaces to facilitate retreats, ceremonies, and all that. So I do feel like this is kind of like the new hub for the transformation with psychedelics, right? With psychedelics, yeah.
Right. And so is that in your lane there? Is that something you're
I actually work with them. I have worked extensively. So this is the thing. I've been facilitating transformation, deep radical transformation, quantum transformation for about 9 years now. And
Wow.
so, yeah, I've done it. I started just because I was already a business owner, and I heard that like the word abundance, and I was like, what? Tell me more, right? And that's how it started. I started for me, and I started to work with angels in the beginning and do like, I just wanted my life to be better, have more, right? I wanted to feel more abundance, and but without even knowing, like I stepped fully into it. Like I was doing it for myself, and then people, like just my energy and what I was going through, people were like, "Ooh, you can help me, and I was like, okay. And then I just follow my journey. Is like classic, I follow my purpose just because of what it was present for me, and it was about me. And then things started to unravel, right, and develop, and then I started to take classes and whatnot to go deeper. But yeah, that's I was already facilitating deep transformation for years, and then about 2 years ago, I came across someone who now is my partner. Like we met, and then he introduced me to psychedelics. And I mean, at that point, I had, of course, the stigma and whatnot. I had work already, and so I checked in with my guidance, and they were like, "Yep, this is the path for you to go." And so I went deep. The cool thing with me, I feel like that is very, I'm gonna say, is different. Like I definitely work a little bit with them, but what I feel like it's that eventually we'll get there, right? Like right now, I'm gonna say the community is starting with psychedelics at global level, like psychedelics being the new way to help people, right? But
Yeah.
what I've noticed is just like any modality or any like coaching or healer and whatnot, it is I feel like it's like the tendency of humans, right? We try to make it the modality or the person, or in this case, the plant medicine, the one that has the power, the one that is going to do it for us, and the one unconsciously, the magic pill. Even though we talk about it is a journey, we kind of look at for this one thing that is gonna this one time transform and change everything in me, right? Like we're right the one time. And the thing is, like, again, what we don't realize is we keep giving our power away, right? It's like the power is outside of me, and then it's just, and it's never gonna really bring you to the other side while that power is outside of you, right? It's never like it will help you feel better, like it is gonna help you peel some layers, but to get to that place of like full on, you are like abundant and joyful and experience the everything that you want to experience and who you are meant to be, is about you have the power and discovering and unleashing your own power, right? And so that's what I do with psychedelics, that it's just like this is, and some in communities here is like they put it on a pedestal, like yeah, or mushrooms, whatever it is, like the pedestal, this is right. And I don't have the power. I is the one that tells me, this is the one that tells me, and I'm just whatever, a channel or a human, whatever, right? And so the thing on my side is like, I had a blessing that already have the tools. So it's not like, to me, when I work with psychedelics, it was more like, okay, this is a really powerful tool to help me relax my mind and go even deeper without this control, right?
Right.
And that's the way that I've worked it. And I also bring it to clients, those that feel aligned. Again, it's not all my clients do it, but like the ones that feel aligned. And it's just like I do in a microdosing level, just again to relax the mind so I can go deeper with them in the transformation and make it quicker.
And because I mean, so much of it is about doing the work on yourself and making yourself that better person, and you can't expect this other stuff to do something for you if you don't really want to do it in the first place. I mean, it's yeah, if you can, yeah, it'll pretend to for a second, but it's not gonna.
Well, I've seen about just about everything with what you said. I mean, there is some people, yeah, there's some people that I know that they do psychedelics, that they've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, like if they don't want to go deeper. So they're doing it just to say they're doing it.
Yeah, or see cool things, or
Right, exactly.
whatever.
Like just chill, right?
Yeah.
I've seen people that go desperately, like desperately to psychedelics, and the demons unleashed in them, right? Because they are desperate. They're in this save me place, right? So much pain. And the psychedelics unleash, and that's the problem with like that's what causes fear in people, right? But it's
Right.
because again, it's like there's so much pain and they don't know how to process it, right? And unfortunately, I've seen some facilitators that don't know how to hold space for that. Actually, I don't know anyone that knows, other than me and my partner. I don't know anyone that knows how to really hold that space for that, all the darkness in us to come out and be processed, right?
Right. And so that was something else. So because I hadn't thought about this until like I was having a conversation with one of my co-hosts, and we started talking about the quote unquote bad trip. And I was saying, I've never had a bad trip. I'm like, I always try to be in the right kind of environment for it. But then he said, no, a bad trip is a good thing. That's like one of the best places where you can be able to have that time to really go in and, work on yourself and be able to work through something. And I was like, you're kind of right there. Like, I hadn't thought of it that way. And like, even like with microdosing, and you being able to have that extra layer of relaxation. 'Cause it's all about how, the relaxation too, and and being open to whatever suggestion, or open to making yourself better. Have you gone into any float tanks? Have you done any of that stuff?
No flow tanks. No.
They're pretty cool. If you can do the ones that are, because there's two different kinds. There's kinds that look like a little egg, and then there's kinds that are more of like a whole room. But you want more the ones that are more the whole room. There's one in Denver too that I went to when I went there, and it was really nice. And I'm blanking on the name of it, but
Do you remember where it was located?
no, it's somewhere in Denver. I can figure it out, I bet.
Yeah. I remember when I was visiting San Diego, we booked one. We really wanted to go, but then yeah, we ended up not going. That was a bummer. But yeah, I don't know. What is the benefit of flow tanks for you?
So I've done it different ways. I actually decided, so with hypnosis, you're not allowed to, if somebody is because I was thinking like, oh, if I was getting a massage or something, that'd be great. But there's a law that if you're a hypnotist, you can't be in the same room with somebody who's naked, because there's all kinds of
Makes sense.
whatever. But so in float tanks, when you're about to get out, they have like a little stereo system in there, and they give you like, they turn up the music a little bit to, get you to be like, oh, it's time to come out of your journey or whatever. And I was like, well, if they have that in there, like if there's the speakers in there and they played at the end, why couldn't I put a hypnosis recording in there and get hypnotized while I'm in the float tank? And that was cool. That was like the more you can pile on these kinds of different modalities together, it's pretty powerful. And so like the float tanks for pain, it's been great for
Oh,
just being able to kind of, again, same thing, sort of process what's going on. And then, yeah, just the feel of it not really, because I feel like when I do the ones with, they look like an egg, I feel like there's a little tiny bit of light going through. And I like the complete darkness, complete soundproof, just dark. And yeah, like you can't drown. And so like you're like the water is like, if you're laying on your back, the water is just above your ears. And yeah, eventually you just can't really tell where your body ends and the water begins. And it's
cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And
I
some
have a
places, yeah.
I have a feeling that I have had a similar experience. I don't recall being in a float tank, but I don't know why I have this memory that I've been in one. So maybe in the future I've been in
Maybe.
one. My topic
Yeah.
into the yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why that the whole idea of like being in water and floating, it doesn't make me feel easy. I don't know why. I'm
Okay.
able
That's
in my
understandable.
yeah, in my case, I'm able to really drop in into I was in 2018. In 2018, my guides helped me train myself to drop into my subconscious within a minute. So I'm like, since my beginning, since I opened my gifts, 10 years ago, I was able to really, I was blessed enough to come across, say, resources and teachers that were able to help me tune in into, connections, psychic gifts, and all that really quickly, right? And I found like, the binaural beats and all that. And so I was able to, and I was in my beginnings, I play a little bit as a psychic. And so like, to me, I had this like, they can't be waiting forever. So I need to like quickly, tune in. And so I was able to, that I feel like led me to also be able to dropping into my subconscious really quickly. So I don't have much issues in terms of like just being able to drop into my quantum and then see what I need to work on. And I feel like that's why also it's easy for me to work with people, right? Because I'm very tapped in. So yeah, I feel like going into a room, like, again, like, I don't know, I've never been, so I don't know, like, because what I'm thinking also is I love paddleboarding, and I love playing meditations when I'm in the lake, right? Just like, I'm just gonna float here and like just play my whatever meditation and do some work, right? Some inner work. Yeah. And so I don't know if that's similar, but yeah.
That sounds pretty nice too. Yeah, just being out there, out on the water, just
Yeah.
why not? Can't
Well,
do it all the time. So
yeah,
yeah.
I loved it. I tried to do it in the ocean, and the ocean was a little bit harder.
Yeah, where were you in the ocean?
In Maui.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah.
Yeah. I was with a client for his VIP days, and then we went paddleboarding one morning, and I was like, okay, I tried to do what I do in the lake, and it was not the same. It was not the same. The ocean just skipped like, like it was hard to be stable for me. So I was like, okay, this is not the same than my lake.
Yeah. A little bit more you can turn your back on the lake. You can't turn your back on the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
So where were you in Maui? Do you remember?
I was everywhere. I mean, I stayed in close to Mahalea.
Okay.
And then I mean, that was where I rented the condo and whatnot. But like, I took my client everywhere because I mean, he has lived there for, I don't know, a long time, over 20 years, I believe. And so he was going through this 3 VIP day of like deep transformation and timeline shifting and all, and death of identities. And so So it was, to me, it was about because he's like so connected to Maui. I just felt the guidance to take him to certain places to activate certain things that, and let go of certain things that whatever we were working on in that moment. So I was like, I went to the, the mountain there, the forest, close to, not Lahaina. What is that one? That Paia.
Yeah, the one right there into the sky, and I can't think of what it's called.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, the one where you have to wake up real early to do the drive up there to get the sunrise.
Oh yeah, we didn't do that.
I didn't do it. I didn't want to. The other people in my family, they went up. I was like, I'm not going to go wake up to go up to the top of the mountain. I'm good. I'm going right out to the beach. But so for your work, you got to go and travel to Maui. That's not a bad deal for a day of work or a few days of work.
Yeah, no, it is not. It's like, I mean, it wasn't my first time in Maui. No, it wasn't. But it was very magical to do work. And I remember going last year to Mexico. I was scouting to do a retreat. When I was going to like actually do have the group go through a little bit of mushrooms. And that to me is like, whatever I go is more when I'm looking at a place and it comes down to my work, it's more about how high frequency the place is. Right.
So where were you in Mexico?
I visited Tulum. Then
is that up in the mountain? Is that like sort of in like central?
No. Tulum is like south of Playa del Carmen, south of
okay.
Tulum.
Okay.
Yeah, beach town, but it has changed a lot since last I visited. It's very commercialized. You barely have access to the beach without through a restaurant or a hotel.
Or a cruise ship coming up there.
It's very sad. It's very sad. So I was like, this is not a place that I want to, because to me, it's like, if I'm going to be close to the beach, I want to take them to the beach. Right. And it was really, it was challenging to access the beach. It was very challenging. Yeah. And so I checked Playa del Carmen. Also, I also check San Miguel Allende. And I mean, in San Miguel Allende, I did ayahuasca. But yeah, none of them. I love Playa del Carmen, the vibe in general. I was like, this is more, because I like the mix of like being able to really drop in beautiful place, but also like a beat. And Playa del Carmen had the upbeat part, but when we dropped in, it was intense. It was very intense. The energy was a lot of fear, a lot of like, it was very intense, the energy. And I was like, this is not where I want people to drop in. So I kind of like just left it at that. And I haven't visited. I mean, some people told me it's in between the towns that you need to look for. And I'm like, okay, maybe next time.
Yeah. So are you working on a retreat then?
The current moment, all my retreats are online. They're online. Yeah.
So what's an online retreat look like?
Oh, okay. So the cool thing with an online retreat is that, of course, you're in the comfort of your home. But what does it look like is like, I drop in with a topic. Like I'm coming in a couple of weeks. I have the freedom, breakthrough through freedom experience. And so what it looks like is like, I pick a topic to work on. And in this case, it's going to be the drama triangle, breaking from the drama triangle of like the victim, perpetrator, and savior, and like rising to our next, like higher frequency archetypes. And so let's say one day is a victim, right? And again, other times I've done like divine union. There's all kinds of things that I have to this, even sexual energy and all that. It just depends. But I pick a topic, and online what it looks like is like I give them a little bit of homework. I do a little bit of homework, like, so they ponder, people ponder, visit the topic, they what I call the unearthing. unearthing of whatever is the topic. So let's say it's a victim, right? How we are feeling victimized, let's say by ourselves or by others, right?
Right.
And also I bring the main topic, which is freedom, like true freedom, right? So I have them ponder, and then when is the day, that's let's say a few days prior, and then when is the day, you know, based on the topic, I have them drop into meditation, and then I just start to ask questions, and we start to clear energetically, because what happens when I start to ask questions is like I'm reading the group collective, subconscious and unconscious, right? And
Right.
so I'm reading the patterns, the experiences, the traumas that are holding us in that space. And so I just start to like call in, and I invite them to let go. And it's like they just relax, consciously let go, and they feel all kinds of things in their body. They feel the density that comes up as I'm calling the energies. And just through breathing, but also energetic movements that I facilitate, we clear the subconscious and unconscious. And I go through different processes, because to me, the idea of my work is like, I'm a believer that we don't have to hold anything in us forever. Like to me, is like, you can actually totally be free from this, whatever it is that we're working on. So totally be free, and in a way that on the other side, what it looks like, you never even experience it. You have a memory of it, and sometimes even the memory goes away. Like someone working with me is like within 6 months, they're like, what was I working? Like, and so it was like that place of like, this is so hard, right? I've been dealing with this for years, if not all of my life. And then after a while with me, they're like, I can't recall what I was working. And like, that's a full transformation.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So in a group experience, I go for that, right? Like the transformation. And because it's a group experience and everybody's going to be in a different space, the cool thing is like, I go as much as they allow themselves, right? And they have the recording to keep going and playing. And every time is like more and more. And eventually they get to that side where it's like, oh, it's totally gone. Right. Yeah.
That's great. And
Yeah.
so you have your retreats, and then you have do you have an office, or is everything online?
Everything is online for now. I am
That's
planning
great.
next. Yeah.
I got rid of my office.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't had an office for like 4 years at least. I mean, yeah, like 4.5 years probably now.
Now,
Just it's all online. Why
yeah.
not?
Yeah. I've really had, I mean, to be truthful, I had an office in my house, right? But I've never had an office where people would come and see me. You know, I've pretty much since my beginning, other than in my first year, in my second year, I moved right away online. So I've had my business online for 9 years
Nice.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good deal. It's a lot easier. And then, I mean, people are going to be in their best space, being in their familiar place. Like, they don't have to go into some office where, like, we might think it's the most comfortable, chillest fucking hangout place, but someone else might be totally uncomfortable, and you never know. But let them, like, if they're comfortable, in the middle of I don't know, floating on the water, or sitting at home in bed, or wherever they are, that's fine. They can be there, and they're in their own spot.
Yeah. I think there's a beauty of that, right? That they don't have to worry about traveling, like commuting or what. There is and this is why next year I want to definitely, is in my list to start to bring back retreats, because there's a beauty of like, also there are things that they don't allow themselves, especially if they live with others or like in apartment, like one of the things that I work with my clients is emotions, right?
Okay.
Feeling, allowing themselves to feel all the array of emotions, right? The big rainbow of like anger and sadness and grief to joy and laughter and ecstasy and bliss and joy, right? And a lot of times, like what happens often is like they don't allow themselves to be angry or feel anger, right? Or sadness. And that is what actually is limiting the joy.
Oh,
Did you know that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
That's-
it's like the same tank, right? Talking about flow tanks is the same tank, right? You are giving a tank for your emotions. And people think it's like, if I cut myself from anger, I'm gonna just focus on joy, I'm gonna feel the joy. No, because it's the one tank. And so they're cutting themselves, they're cutting actually by not feeling the heavy feelings, right? They're actually not allowing themselves to go to feel more joy and more love.
Which is what I was getting at too, with not wanting to have a bad trip. Not really like staying away from those things that need to be worked on and fixed. And
exactly.
So yeah, don't be afraid of those.
Right. I mean,
yeah,
it's scary because I feel like it's scary for a few reasons. It's scary because of the programming that we have, right? And we're like,
probably.
I mean,
yeah,
right. None of us, right? The new generations, I feel like it's starting to be different, right? But none of us were told by our parents, it's okay for you to cry, or it's okay for you to be angry, right? It's a normal emotion, right? Like you can be angry, you can feel afraid, right? It's okay to cry, right? Oh, none of us ever, right?
No,
and so,
not even close.
Right. And on the contrary, so like we've heard, like, especially guys, right? Men is like, you can't cry, that's not manly, right? Like, and women, like, we cry, but it's like, oh, you're too sensitive, you're too emotional. So regardless if you're a woman or a man, we're being stigmatized that feeling emotions is not okay.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I guess the reason to push that narrative is really just to keep people not moving up levels, and just kind of keep everybody just in a poor state.
Exactly. I mean, oh my God, thank you. You pin it down. That's exactly it. And that's what people haven't realized yet. But again, there's a shift happening, right? More and more we see everyone talking about it, but that's the key, right? Everything that we haven't allowed ourselves, I think, as a collective, even money, recently came this beautiful download. It came through me, is like, the reason why we've been told, right? I mean, that money is evil is because of the same thing that you just said about emotions, right?
You don't want everyone to think that, they don't want to be like, hey, money's great, let's go get money.
Right.
You know, then everyone would be going to get money, and then they wouldn't have as much.
Right. Because think about it. Who are the ones that told us that money is not good?
The same people who told us that your men shouldn't be getting upset and crying, and women cry too much and shouldn't be getting so upset.
Yeah, but who? Those are the people, like the people that actually have money. The people that actually have advanced are the people that told us that you shouldn't want that.
Right.
And so go ahead.
Now we know it. Now we know it. Now we can't do that. Now we know their trick, and now it's time to everyone improve themselves and work through stuff, because that's how we win. And so when people are ready to win at life and they want to get a hold of you, how are they going to get a hold of you? How are they going to find you on the internet? How are they going to get on your retreats when they come back?
Yeah, thank you. Well, there's a couple of places, right? I want to say my website, MaZíX, MaZíX, Mahalel, MaZíXMahalêl.com. And then on social media, say MaZíX.Mahalêl. Pretty much that's where you find me everywhere. On Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I think even I have LinkedIn, but I don't really look at it, LinkedIn. So
I tried, but it's weird.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of
like who are these people?
Yeah. It's very robotic. I don't know. I don't like it.
That's how I feel about it too. It's like I don't belong here. I'm here, but I don't belong here.
I'm here just to say that I'm here.
Yeah. So I found the name of that float tank there, float place. It's called VAVE Float Center, I think is what it was. It's on it's like in Southeast Denver, on Steel
Really?
Street. Yeah.
Oh, it's close to me then.
Okay.
Yeah.
VIVE. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Got it.
yeah,
Okay.
and if you do go, make sure you don't go into one of the egg things. Tell me you want the room thing.
Okay.
That's
The
going to be
room.
the better experience if you're going to go do it. But yeah, thank you so much for being on here. I enjoyed getting to talk to you and learn, and we made some breakthroughs. So I think it's been pretty good all around. So
Yeah. Thank you so much for inviting me and having me. I really
you're very
enjoyed it.
welcome. Me too. All right. Well, have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Yep.
Bye.
Right. All right. That's MaZíX Mahalêl. So get a hold of her. Do it. It's time. It's time. And I'll put that in the show links, show notes with the show links for you, for me, and for everyone. So I missed a bunch of stuff at the beginning. So you guys, the show is brought to you by Quantum. Nope, it's not. It's on the Quantum Global Broadcasting Network, QGBN. You can check out other great shows on the network, such as When the Gloves Come Off, the Thinking Man's Pro Wrestling Podcast, This Is It with Lizzie, and Saved by the Ben. And the show is brought to you by Fred Ben Savage as Fuck, Stoner Eats Productions, Hardcore Entertainment, Hypnosis is Great, and suckemup.org. And you guys can leave a message here if you want. I'll play it on the radio. It's 503-974-6420. Leave a message, or maybe you don't want to and you're like,
messages? We don't leave no stinking messages.
but I do. So 503-974-6420. Thank you guys so much. Like, subscribe, share, leave comments. And that is the show. Man, boom.
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.
Ernest!
Yes, Pee-wee.
You brought the snacks, right?